Okay, today we're going to make a 3D sketch. 3D sketches allow us to create more interesting and complex geometry than you can with a 2D sketch. So the shape we're making today is called an extended octahedron. So there's 8 sides. They're all triangles. Equilateral triangle on each end face, and then we have an extended triangle on each long face. So what I'm going to do is start sketching. I'm going to sketch a base triangle first on the top plane, and then I'm going to create all the other legs of the shape based off of that. So I'm going to create, actually I don't have to choose a sketch. I'm just going to go ahead and, I don't have to choose a plane. I can just create a 3D sketch. But I want it to be aligned with the top plane, and you'll see you don't have the polygon tool here for whatever reason. And let's see, I want to sketch it on the XZ plane. So I'm going to hit tab a couple times, ZX, good enough. I'm going to sketch a circle. I'm going to make that construction, and I'm going to draw my triangle around that. So I'm just going to draw 3 lines. I don't really care about accuracy yet. And then I'm going to make them tangent to this circle, each one of these. Make tangent, I hold control, select the circle and an edge, and then I select the tangent constraint in the fly up menu or over here on the left if the fly up menu disappears. Okay, so now they're all tangent to the circle, but they need to be equal lengths. So I'm going to control click all 3 and tell them to be equal. But still, I'm not constrained because now we're working in 3 dimensions. So 2 things that need to happen. One is I need to make this horizontal, but in 3 dimensions we don't call it horizontal because we have multiple dimensions. So it automatically made this constraint. I'm just going to delete it so you can see what I'm talking about, right? I don't want it to spin like this. So if I click this line and tell it to be parallel along the x-axis, you can see my x-axis goes left to right, right? So I want it to be parallel to that. So I'm just going to click the line. I can choose it here or on the left, and that's going to straighten it. So now I can't spin it, but it still comes out of plane. It pitches up and down. So I can create a relation. Let's see, I can apply it to, I'll just apply it to this whole line. I'll click the line. I'm going to click Control, expand this, and select the top plane, and say on plane. So that's going to snap that line onto the plane. So now, moving just like I want it. In my case, I want to make it 32-inch length, and so now I have a fully defined triangle. Okay, but I'm not done yet. So next thing I'm going to do is, I have this face. I'm going to start sketching these legs that meet up at a point at the top. All right, so I'm going to create 3 of those 6 elongated surfaces. If I just start sketching, it's going to kind of stay in this plane. So I want to hit tab and choose a plane that's more vertical. Right? I'm going to move this out of that plane. We can't stay in that plane, but I can do that later. So then I'm just going to sketch all 3 of those. I'm going to intentionally make them very different sizes so that I can distinguish them, and now you can kind of pull them into shape. So looking down from the top, I want a triangle that is, it's hard to see with the solid model, but this triangle is going to be, pointy side up on the bottom and pointy side down on the top. Right, so more or less, oops, just kind of wrestle them into shape. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect those points with additional lines. Okay, so now I have a little triangle on the top. It's kind of ugly, but I'm going to constrain it now, right? So I want all three of these legs, I'm going to hold control. I want them to be equal to each other, and I also want them to be equal to this bottom leg. And I selected the dimension by mistake, so I'm going to select this leg. All right, I'll just do this again. I select this leg, holding control. I click the three triangle legs at the top and one on the bottom, and then I make them all equal. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, but I also need to make all these long legs equal to each other. So I'm going to hold control, I'm going to click them all, and I'm going to click equals. So that's perfect, and the last thing I need to do is add another dimension. So in this case, I have a dimension of 96 inches from the base of the long triangle to the tip of the long triangle, not the height between the two triangles, the true end pieces. So I'm gonna choose this leg, doesn't really matter, and this point for my dimension, and 96, and now I'm fully defined. Alright, so that's it for the 3D sketch. To continue this, I can make a surface on each of these faces, and then I can knit those surfaces together to make a solid. So that's going to be the subject of another video. That's it. Thanks for watching.